Web scraper? I don't even know her. Based on that joke, today we are going over web scraping. A scraper? I don't even know her. Anyway, let's define web scraping. So we can gather a large amount of data from a website via their HTML automatically. Now, web scraping can also be used for malicious purposes as email harvesting, which you can collect everyone's emails and use them for phishing campaigns or what have you. And also an interesting one, which is ad fraud, which they can generate fake views, fake clicks, whatever on ads, and then up the advertising revenue or what have you. It can also be used to gather a list of targets, such as usernames, emails, contact information, what have you from website, and then use that for malicious purposes. So basically just a bunch of recon, mainly. How about we build our own little web scraper in Python? Hey, Python! A very simple, a very basic, non-malicious web scraper. So, right now I am in Visual Studio Code. We have a new project pulled up right here, and we will need to import Beautiful Soup, which Beautiful Soup is a HTML and XML parser. So, to import Beautiful Soup, we do pip install Beautiful Soup 4. And then that will install, but mine is already installed. So next, Beautiful Soup 4 also has a module called request. So you would do pip install request, and mine's already installed. So that's just what you would do to get those modules imported. Now, basic web scraping script. Here we are. Line 1, we have import request from BS4 import Beautiful Soup. So we're just importing the Beautiful Soup module. And then here I have print starting the script, just debugging line to make sure everything imports correctly, just to check, make sure. So you could just have this lines 1 through 4 as its own separate thing to just test if everything is imported correctly. I just have it here because I'm not picky. I'm not picky. Anyway, the URL of the website that we are scraping. Here I have https://news.ycombinator.com, which is actually Hacker News, which right here, Hacker News, you see the URL, Hacker News, blah, 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 and then all of the recent articles that's going on. So that is the URL. Print, fetching data from, response equals request get URL. And then this line just sends a GET request to the URL. And then print, received response, save response status code equals 200. Response text HTML parser print successfully parsed the HTML. And then code 200 means that it was successful, the GET request. And then if it is successful, it will parse the HTML, html.parser, Beautiful Soup. Now on line 16, find all A tags and print their href attributes. And href, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I've never heard it said aloud before. I've only read it. So that's how I'm pronouncing it. It may not be correct. Anyway, links, soup, find all A tags, print, found the link. So you're just finding all of the A tags in the HTML. So let's go to Google and I'll show you. So finding all of the A tags right here. A, ID, href, URL. So this is what the web page is looking like in HTML. You can see here the link. It's highlighted in the corner over there by Doom Captcha. If you go over these, they get highlighted. Here is the link to the article. So you can see how going through this highlights everything on the web page. So this line right here, this ensures it's a Hacker News story link. If href and item $ID equals in href. So item $ID, that just means that it is a story link like you saw in the URL previously, but we'll go over it again after we run it. And then else print failed to retrieve the page, and then the status code. So let's pull this up and let's run it. So as you can see, printing all of the A tags, 18 hours ago, item ID, 45 comments, item ID, 3 hours ago, item ID, 1 comment, item ID. So, all this. If we go back here, so right here, we have Happy New Year 2025, which is today is the beginning of 2025 as I'm filming this. So, TR class, nothing, submission, ID, look familiar? We go down here, click into it, ID equals Harif, vote ID equals 42562, blah, blah. So here we have this. We go back to Visual Studio Code, line 170, Happy New Year, item ID 42562,750, which is the same one we just saw in the HTML code. So that is a very basic one where it finds all of the A tags and prints their href attribute. Now we will go a bit deeper with this next one, which is going to print out all external links. So it's just going to print out the link and the title of the article. So let us get into it. Speaking of Python and learning Python, this video is sponsored by Brilliant. Brilliant is a learning platform designed to be uniquely effective. Their first principles approach helps you build an understanding from the ground up. Each lesson is filled with hands-on problem solving that lets you play with concepts, a method proven to be 6 times more effective than watching traditional lecture videos. Plus, all content on Brilliant is crafted by an award-winning team of researchers and professionals, from MIT, Caltech, Duke, Microsoft, Google, and more. Brilliant helps you build your critical thinking skills through problem solving, not just memorizing. So while you're building real-world knowledge on specific topics, you'll also be becoming a better thinker. Learning a little every day is one of the most important things you can do both for your professional and personal development. Brilliant helps you build real-world knowledge in just minutes a day, the complete opposite of mindless scrolling. Brilliant makes it easy to learn anywhere right on your phone, with fun lessons you can do whenever you have the time. Whether you're diving into a new topic or just doing a quick practice session, you can level up on the go in just minutes. Now, one of their main topics I find interesting and relevant in this context is their programming courses. Brilliant's growing number of programming courses are a great way to build foundation and learn real-world applications. Get familiar with Python and start learning programs on day one with a built-in drag-and-drop editor. Learn essential coding elements, from loops and variables to nestings and conditionals. Develop your mind to think like a programmer, and begin writing complex programs to build games and apps. Now, to try everything Brilliant has to offer free for a full 30 days, there's a link. And there's also a QR code. Wow. Or click the link in the description, whichever one you prefer. You will also get 20% off an annual premium subscription. Now, back to web scraping with Python. So, we have this one. Import requests from BS4 import beautiful soup, same thing as last one. URL to fetch from Hacker News. Sends a GET request to the URL. Check if the request was successful. Status code equals 200. Same going on as last time. This one says find all A tags on the page. Print found A tags. Similar to the last one. So this is where it starts to differ. So this one says iterate through each link and filter for external story links. So we're just filtering for any external story links by the href. Now, check if the link is an external link, i.e. starts with HTTP or HTTPS. So this one says if href and href starts with HTTP or HTTPS. Title, extract the title from the link text. Drip. Ensure the title is not empty. If title, prints out the title, else prints no title found. And else, if all of this, similar to the last one, failed to retrieve the page and with the error status code. So let's run this. And as you can see, printed out the title of the article and then the article link. Why storing 2FA codes in your password manager makes sense. Then we go to Hacker News. Why does storing 2FA codes in your password manager make sense? Number 2. So you go to Visual Studio, click on the link, follow link, and takes you here. Why does storing 2-factor authentication codes in your password manager make sense? Some little Python codes, just scrape the titles of the articles and the URLs pretty much. So yeah, web scraping can also be used for malicious purposes, so don't do that. Keep it legal. So yeah, that's it for this video. Little web scraping with Python. Hope you guys got something out of that. And we'll see you in the next video.